Well, the big question for Gérard Collomb, the French Interior Minister, this morning was why did he not inform public prosecutors sooner about this affair? Now, he said it just simply wasn't his job. He was informed a day after the incident, that was on May 2nd. The incident took place during the May 1st demonstrations here in Paris. Gérard Collomb says he was informed on the 2nd of May. He then informed the Élysée Palace, the presidential palace, and at the time the police headquarters here in Paris were also aware of the incident. So Gérard Collomb, he had done his job and the matter was out of his hands. Another big question was, what was Alexandre Benalla doing at that demonstration in the first place? Now, Gérard Collomb said that he was actually observing the police, which explains why he was wearing a police armband as well as a police helmet. But for Gérard Collomb, his actions of actually taking part, dragging a protester and then kicking him on the ground were clearly totally unacceptable. But what's really interesting is seeing how he's pushing the responsibility away from himself, putting it on the Élysée Palace, the presidential palace here in France, as well as on the police chief, who's actually being questioned right now by that same parliamentary inquiry that questioned Gérard Collomb this morning.
Now, this is the worst scandal the Macron administration has faced since it took power last year. Just explain to us, Claire, why this is making such headlines here in France.
It's making the headlines really because it didn't make the headlines when the incident took place more than 2 months ago. It only really hit headlines last week when Le Monde newspaper published that video of Alexandre Benalla dragging a protester and kicking him on the ground. It published the video on its website, identified Alexandre Benalla as someone who was a collaborator with Emmanuel Macron. He works very highly and importantly on the president's security, and that's really when it hit headlines. Now, in the Élysée Palace's defense, they said they did suspend him for 2 weeks after the incident, but they only fired him. They only sacked him on Friday when the scandal broke out. As for Emmanuel Macron, this is clearly not great for his image, and it's also not great for his policies. A parliamentary debate was supposed to be taking place this week on a key campaign promise of Emmanuel Macron on constitutional reform. That's now been pushed back to September. And Emmanuel Macron was supposed to stop off at one of the stops of the Tour de France on Wednesday. That visit's been cancelled. The Élysée Palace saying, though, it's not yet confirming whether or not that has anything to do with this affair. It could just be some kind of scheduling double booking. But in any case, certainly for Emmanuel Macron, for his image, this affair known as the Benalla affair here in France isn't great news.
Claire Paquelin reporting there from the Assemblée Nationale, the French Parliament. Thank you.